we each presented about 3 ideas to the other 2 co-founders. And at the end, we voted on which one was the best one. I presented a flight checking prototype. I also talked about something called shared favorites, which was, I suppose, a bit like Dig or Stumble Upon, or possibly a bit like Reddit. One of my co-founders presented effectively a real estate prime location type startup. And yeah, we had a music, infinite jukebox for pubs idea, powered by this new thing, broadband, which had come at last after dial-up modems. So, you know, all the ideas were out there in the ether, and indeed it proved that Skyscanner had possibly 1,000 competitors over from then to now. And I think one of the lessons is I was the only one that built a prototype of the thing I was proposing. And I don't think it's a coincidence we all got excited about the one that I built a prototype about. So we'd all sort of put together a kind of one-pager for all of our ideas, but they're very dry and it's hard to judge them on their merit. Whereas with the prototype, you could actually look at it and go, I can see what this could become. So one of the things I'd definitely point out would be that if you can show someone what you want to do and want them to help you do, that is so much more powerful than trying to write to someone or explain to someone. You know. Anyway, we started building, decided to do that and got started. I stopped working at the place I was working, and we split 2 salaries 3 ways. It's a pretty big step to do with your friends if you think about what's required to do that, particularly when you think the idea, you know, you got no pedigree as to why it should work. You don't really know anybody else who's done an internet business. So that was a big step of trust in all directions. Particularly given I had habits that may be a little bit unpredictable, and so they had to kind of rein me back in and sit me in front of the computer and get me coding again for 20 hours straight type thing. So we got started on that. It took probably a couple months to get the next version up and running, and we were kind of happy with that. We didn't get funding, given that we really started in 2001. We were a proper business in 2003 with a registered company and paying salaries and things rather than just shifting money between each other's personal bank accounts. We didn't receive funding until 2008. So that's operating for 7 years before getting funding. What that meant is when we did get funding, we were still in control of our company. We operated at Skyscanner. It's much more common now, but we were evangelical on doing what was right for the customer, for the traveler. And if it wasn't right for them, we wouldn't do it. It was an incredibly difficult decision to put adverts on the site. And even then we did it in a way that didn't maximize the revenue. It made some revenue. But it was in a way that tried to be useful for users. And that way of operating is quite unfamiliar to older business people or business people that don't have experience in the internet, because revenue is proof in a way. But actually, with an internet business, user engagement is proof. That is the really important thing. And revenue, you know, there's various ways to fake that. During the dot-com boom, I heard that a lot of people used to sign an advertising agreement with fellow startups and exchange $1 million of revenue both ways. And they're now both startups with $1 million of revenue. There was no $1 million, you know, it's ridiculous. So actually the people caring whether your startup exists is the most important thing. If nobody cares, you do not have any reason other than you think they will care tomorrow. And if people care and get value from it, then I think is the point at which to say, okay, we now have time and resources to say, how about you pay something for it?
Thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'll be uploading new podcasts every week where we spotlight some of the world's leading startup founders and VCs to talk about their journeys and experiences in the field.